Today I'm talking to Panos Gounas. He's one of the owners of the CNC training centers in Greece. We are going to be talking about how to become successful as an engineer and also in CNC engineering. Panos, welcome. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for the invitation. I'm glad to be here with you.
So
I'm a
Panos,
fan.
we actually worked together a while back. I actually hired CNC engineers from a company through you, and I came down to the facilities, and they were amazing. They were huge. They were modern, expensive. I just wanted to start talking about your success and how this became, how this was done. So my first question is, how do you become a successful engineer?
Okay, it's not an easy, to be successful. It's an ongoing process. You start and you have to be always updated, and I think this is the key of success. So, I think if I can say, it's this continuous improving of of the knowledge and the update to be always to follow all the improvements on the sector.
Nice, nice. Tell me a little bit about your life and how you got into engineering, Panos.
Uh, Although I started in economics and business,
Mm-hmm.
it was the engineering that finally inspired me, and with my partner, we started the business 15 years ago with CNC Solutions, that is CNC machining shop floor, and where we make, precise precision machining.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this was the start, and for me to join all this magic world, because if you see the machining, you see some materials that you have to make them live and make them come to the real world, even for engineering, even for whatever you think. So this process was very interesting for me, from a little block of aluminum or another material to make it a part with all its unique characteristics.
Okay, be
Uh,
honest. You wanted to become Iron Man.
no, not at all. But I love all this process, from designing, from how to have the final result.
Right, right. But by the way, everybody watching right now, comment down below if you are into engineering and what drove you. Was it to become Iron Man? Was it to make a solution to solve something? I'm really interested. We would really like to know. Panos, tell me something. How did you open the CNC training center in Greece? How did that happen?
Yes. This was an idea with me and Kostas, my partner, from 2007, where we have seen that the lack of skilled personnel in this sector was huge, not only in Greece, of course, but in Europe and in America and all over the globe. And this, unfortunately, this is something that's already happening all over the world, and all the companies are searching for high skilled personnel to hire. That was an idea, and in 2011 and 12, we're starting the efforts to build this, as you say, a modern, a very nice premises, in order to have to guest all these students that want to improve their skills in CNC manufacturing. So that was the start. We started, all the difficulties here in the bureaucracy that you need for, to have the license from the education department of the government. And then in this process, we met with Haas. Haas is a global manufacturer of CNC machining centers and turning centers. It's an American manufacturer. Also has a team in Formula One. I don't know if you watch. And there we met, and we shared the same ideas. So in this process, they finally came visit us and see that the facilities proved their expectations. So they decided to cooperate. So the CNC Training Center is also the first HAS technical education center in Greece.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
And you're
yes.
planning to, and you're actually bringing people from all over Europe and the various other countries, or at least you're planning to expand into that more. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, exactly, yes. Although currently the most students are coming from Greece, and now there are more than 2 years that we expanded, and we make it also some summer camps for companies, for universities, so we make some custom programs, for their needs and the students or the personnel. And this is very something, it's really beautiful because, they combine also education with some vacations in Greece. We are just 50 minutes from the sea, from the airport, too close also to the center of Athens. So this is something that we are working.
And what's even better is when your best students. I came and I hired them in northern Iraq.
Yes, yes,
Sorry,
yes.
I had to take them. For those people listening, I have a consulting company in Bulgaria, but also a recruitment company, and I send people outside Greece, and we hire people in various countries. So let me ask you something. I had a discussion yesterday actually about. I was talking to some salespeople, and they said a phrase which is very common in sales, and it's completely wrong. It's if you can't sell it, if you can't do it, teach it. Okay,
Hmm.
which for
Hmm.
me this is complete crap because the best coaches and trainers in the world don't have to be the best players. But tell me something. Is teaching the same as doing in CNC, or do you think it's another art?
Yes, yes, I think it's another art because you can be a very good technician, but it's very difficult to handle several students, with unique knowledge and all this stuff. It's very difficult. Yes, it's a absolutely different thing.
Yeah. So tell me something. What do you think about the current education system, the general education system? And do you actually need to do that in order to become an engineer? Or can somebody just learn to become an engineer, like at any time in his life?
From my experience through CNC Training Center, the best CNC operator or machinists uh, were not educated. They're not engineers. You
Wow.
have to be, yes, you have to get the approach of the manufacturer. It's something unique. I don't know. I think it's something of minds. Some people are more dedicated to this, and some other can follow. They can reach this level, but the most clever guy that ever passed from our center was I don't know, a guard, a border guard.
Really?
Yes, 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 from Evros.
Oh, wow.
So yes, 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 exactly. But he loves, and his mind, he was very clever to reach the manufacturing in the right way.
So people can actually become an engineer. I could actually decide to become an engineer. If I'm in
Yes,
sales, I could become a sales engineer just
of
by coming
course.
and taking some courses or some lessons with the CNC Training Center as an example.
Our courses are for everybody who is interested in this field. So, except of CNC operator, programmer, machinists, CNC salesman for industrial equipment, like cutting tools, all this stuff. Also, designers. There are too many people came here from R&D departments. There are engineers in order to understand the way and the problems that the machinists face when they have a drawing. It's very nice to draw some some things, but
Hello.
sorry, but
That's
we
okay.
are live, so we understand. So that's the point.
Oh, someone really wants to
Sorry,
talk to you, Panos.
sorry for that. Sorry for that.
Okay, so that's actually very interesting. That's actually pretty cool. So let me ask you something. As you know, just turn it off. Throw it away.
Just give me some minutes. Okay, now we're okay.
Okay, so as you know, I recently bought. So as you know, I recently wrote two books, one on success and one on sales. And you know this because you bought like five of the first ones. Um, and
Exactly.
I'm going to leave a link down in the description below if anybody wants to check those out. You can actually get my book for free right now at that link below, and you can
Wow.
also get the sample, a working sample of the other one I wrote with living legend Ben Gay III, which is on sales. And I gotta ask you something. Do you think reading is important in your field? And I don't mean your typical reading. Obviously, you have to read to become an engineer, but do you have to have diversification when reading to learn to become a successful engineer, if you will?
Yes, yes, of course. Reading is it's one of the daily basis. You have to do, and we live a unique. The, our days, you have so many information everywhere.
Yeah.
So when I returned back in my house after several hours of work, I used to visit, some LinkedIn groups where you can see a lot of issues specific for machining, overall in machining. Now we are approaching we are running the Industry 4, the new industrial resolution, where automation and robots, they are going to, they're already in production. So you must always read, you must always look over you and get informed. Yes.
Well, by the way, so what kind of books do you read? Well, what are some of your favorite books?
Uh, Now I'm reading also, except of my engineering, I also read some, books for example, for lean, manufacturing, for startups and all this stuff. Because new ideas, everything, you must know everything. I believe that also a skilled machinist or a skilled operator must be a total professional, and to become this professional, you have to read a lot of issues, a lot of subjects.
How important do you think sales is in engineering for engineers or businesses likewise?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, how important do you think learning sales is for engineers, both for engineers, but both for okay, somebody will need sales obviously if he wants to open up a CNC training center. But what about for an engineer? Do you think it's vital? Do you think it's important?
Yes, because you have to know all these targets that the company that you work, and you have to know the sales targets. And I think every man and every employee represents the company. When he left the office, he must know the profile of the company. He must know what the company targets is and what the targets, And when they discuss with other people, they have to be professionals and to educate and to
Right. So what makes a good engineer other than engineering skills? Like what character set?
what current set. Of course, the typical one, the team to be very to can work with teams. But I think the good engineer, except of this social, and skills must be. I think the lack of engineers are now most technical because the people, they're stopping the knowledge in their bachelor, or
Right.
some masters. but I think the engineers must focus on engineering, because everybody wants to work with a PC and the mouse right now. But they have to go to the factories. They must know everything about this, all the process of it's not only the CNC machine, There are too many processes in engineering, so they must learn it and they must earn it, They must go to the companies and want to be in the shop floor,
What is actually the difference between a CNC engineer and an engineer?
CNC engineer is the one who work in this process. Of course, if he designs, he must be first an engineer and then get more specific and to
Right.
CNC machining. Yes.
We mentioned earlier on about robotics, and that's something that actually fascinates me. I'm actually investing in AR, augmented reality. How is augmented reality affecting engineering? Do you see robots doing
Yes.
what we're doing, wearing just glasses pretty soon, or
Yes.
how do you
Yes.
see this?
Too many applications for AR, of course. I think the most best example is the maintenance of the machines. Imagine where somewhere in the world, maybe they go for maintenance and they starting to to read some books and so on. Now they can wear these
Yeah.
glasses and they can have the machine and they can have all the instructions to follow exactly the procedures.
Do you
It's
think
something unique.
augmented reality will make people dumber?
Only those who are gonna be damaged.
Right. True. It's actually good. The reason what I think is going to be big in augmented reality, I know we're going a little bit off subject right now, but imagine security guards at airports or people at, like bodyguards. When somebody walks up to you, you can see who the person is, who he is, where's he going, what's his. I mean, it's great for security. You can do so much with AR. Tell me, Panos, do you have any other hobbies? What are your hobbies, basically? I didn't even ask. Other than
Although
reading.
there is not a lot of time,
Hmm.
for hobbies. I'm a musician, as you. And I play guitar, piano, and now I have my son. I'm 12-year son, and play some piano together, some guitar. We have our own studio in the house, so we are trying to find some time to work with it.
And you also have a band, right? Or you're in a
I
band?
used to have a band,
Yeah.
yes, until 5 years ago.
What type of
Yes,
music?
alternative indie rock music.
So smart people and engineers can also like music. It's not, and sales professionals.
Of course.
We also do music.
Hobbies is the thing that keep you in life.
Yeah.
You can only work. You have to have this kind of of course.
Okay, Panos, and I know we're going back and forth in this interview, but that's usually how I
No
do it.
problem.
But what do you what does it actually take to become a successful engineer? Because okay, yeah, you go study, you do this, but what does it actually take?
I think you must have the passion. You
Hmm.
know, I think this is that differs the one with the other. I think you must. I remember some good engineers to be in their childhood. All the stuff, starting making things and destroy things in the house.
Hmm. Yeah.
This is one kind. Of course, some engineers became better through studying. They believe it, they love it, but I think the continuous improving. I think that the people that have this, I don't know how we say, the spirit, they must focus on this. They must love it, not only do it for some good revenues or salaries, etc.
It's funny you should mention that. Let me show you something, and this is something I really didn't get into, but
Okay.
I have a whole set, collector's items, never been open, electro set and Meccano. And never been open with robots, this, that, wires, how to build, how to engineer. And I just never got into it when I was a kid. I did get into it a little bit. I built a few things and stuff like that, but it wasn't really me. And we kept them. I have the whole set. They're very rare. The reason I have them here, I'm actually selling them. I'm not trying to sell you, by the way. This is just honestly, this just happened by luck.
Okay.
But I did put. I took some pictures and I took it down to these people that buy and sell stuff because I'm moving. I'm going to Poland.
Yes, I know.
I'm keeping this house. Obviously, I'm going to have this and my other house, but I'm moving to Poland, and I'm just trying to get not rid of, but I'm trying to make room, not having too many stuff anymore. If somebody bought them, they did. But it's funny you mentioned that,
Yes.
and I actually have them here. It's incredible.
But the young people are very lucky today nowadays because they have some special kind of toys like Lego, the Mindstorms and all this stuff with robotics
They
and
had
all
it back
this.
then. This was from the 70s and 80s. It's crazy.
Yes.
And they weren't very usual. It was very but they were for the elect. Do you know what I mean? Let me ask you something. How important do you think are mentors, and do you have any of your own?
Mentors. If you can find one, you're a lucky guy.
Yeah, okay, but do you have any mentors?
Unfortunately, no.
So your mentors are through books and what people write.
I think my bold scout was
Nice.
something happening inside,
So tell me, Panos, what's a good engineer versus a bad engineer?
You can measure it.
I'm gonna get
Yes,
more
yes,
into the questions now.
yes,
I'm
yes,
gonna
yes.
put you in the spot. So, but seriously, what is a good engineer
Yes,
versus a bad engineer? What would a good engineer have versus what a bad engineer would have if they both had the same amount of knowledge? Let's say.
yes, yes. It's a big difference, and I think that all businesses have to focus on good personnel because the good engineer can drive you in the space. you know, you can uh, you can have all the solutions. You can improve. You can invest in extreme machines, high technology, and all this stuff, and it's going to make it happen. And the bad engineer can destroy you
Hmm.
because this kind of machines, whatever of machinery in general, they cost some money. Some thousands of dollars or euros. So if he's not efficient, you're gonna have a problem sooner or later.
Yeah, and I think character plays an important role in that as well.
Character, yes, that's why I said it's not only the skill.
Yeah.
You have to be a total professional. You don't want a good technician, but with his communication in the company or wherever, or even in the kitchen. You don't have to in
Yeah.
the bathroom. You need a professional everywhere. Yes.
Panos, let me go a little personal for a little bit. Tell me some of your own successes in life.
Successes in life.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Uh, I have a lot of successes, small successes. Even when I used to work for other companies, um, I love to focus on problems and give solutions. I never said whatever. I think this case was a success.
Hmm.
Also, I think this startup, because Cnc Solutions started as a startup, we don't have any, uh, money out there standing.
Right.
So it was a startup. So I think right now it is a successful startup. The Cnc Training Center, as I told you, 4 years ago, I think it was successful. Yes.
Okay. Now tell me some disasters in life and how did you handle them?
Disasters in life.
Can be general. Doesn't have to be engineering. Can be anything. I want to see the character of a successful engineer or entrepreneur engineer. I want to see what it actually takes to become successful.
Yes. When we started our company with Costas, for example, I used to work in a very large, huge company in the stock market with a very good salary, and everybody said you are crazy to do such a. So you say, but I left all this environment, the good money, the good position, and I started something from zero because I loved it, and I needed to focus there. With as I understand, the first year was very difficult. Also, for you can't
Yeah.
have any revenue at all. So I think this was a disaster for the others. A very good, also inspiring for me, but for the others was a disaster. Yes.
Okay. Do you believe in luck?
Yes, of course. It was a luck for example, to meet you, or it was a luck to meet some.
Naturally.
Yes, yes, no, luck, because it was a luck to find some 3 or 4 partners that helped me in this through these years. It's not very easy. You need luck, of course, everywhere.
Nice. Well, I was lucky to meet you, Panos, as well. So tell me something. How do you handle gossip and how do you handle haters?
Who cares?
Nice.
For haters, of course, you know that they're the best marketing for
Yeah.
your company. Yes. For gossip, I don't know what you mean.
Nice. I actually have a video on how to handle gossip and haters. I'm actually going to leave a link for over here. Anybody watching
Okay.
this, if you guys want to click it and watch it after this video, it's actually very amusing. It's actually what Aesop, which is an ancient Greek philosopher, his opinion, and he has a fabulous story about it. It's very amusing. So tell me, Panos, one characteristic that your loved ones know you by.
No?
Know you by. Let's say somebody, people that love you is your family, your friends, right? What's one characteristic they know you as? Like one thing that is it your humor? Is it
Yes,
your
it's the humor.
being witty? What is it?
I think the humor.
The humor?
Yes. But sometimes it's also bad.
Is it one of those engineering humors that are really annoying to people? Like, I know one engineering joke. There was somebody was walking down the road. An engineer was walking down the road, and he sees a talking frog, and it says that if you kiss me, the frog will turn into a beautiful princess of his dreams. So the engineering took the frog and carried it around with him for weeks. And the frog asked, is like, why don't you kiss me? I will be the woman of your dreams. And the engineer says, listen, it's very easy to find my woman of my dreams. They're everywhere. The problem, what's interesting is a frog that can talk. Now that's interesting to me. That one, and the other one was how everybody was trying to measure a tall building. A mathematician was doing math and everything. A constructor was counting the bricks and trying to measure and do all that and try and measure and see how tall the building was. The engineer just looked at the blueprints. So, humor is the characteristic your loved ones know you by. How about people that don't like you?
The hard work.
Yeah? You
Yes.
pressure them?
Yes, I think this is
What keeps you awake at night, Panos?
new ideas
Mm-hmm.
that I find interested. And also, the daily matters sometimes, all the stuff.
So, as an engineer, you think a lot. You tend to overanalyze.
Yes,
Right.
a lot, too much.
So, do you have any success habits or morning rituals?
Rituals, what do you mean?
A ritual is like, for example, in Greek. Well, I won't tell you in Greek. I'll tell you in English so the viewers understand. But it's basically something you do every single day that
Every
helps
day.
boost your confidence or your success or anything like that. It might be anything from praying to, I don't know, reading a book before you go to work. It's just something you do daily. It's a ritual.
Daily, I go my dog outside,
Hmm.
and this inspire me. I find the sun or the rain or everything,
Nice.
and this is also very good, because you prepare yourself to go
Okay.
to start your day.
What about
It's
any
a
habits that contribute to your success?
habits, except the reading,
Hmm.
except the habits. I can't remember right now something.
Yeah. So it's more of an engineering. I think engineers have more of my habit is taking things apart or something or working. So Panos, tell me something. What else do you think contributed to your success as an engineer and as a business owner? What do you think got you to that point?
Uh, I think the spread of knowledge, also with, as I told you, that Cnc Training Center was something. You have to spread the knowledge. You have to make some other do whatever you used to do, and
Hmm.
then go further. And this is something that we have invested a lot in our company in order to for the people to be more skilled, to give the opportunities to take some challenges. This is very, I think, important.
Yeah. So, do you have any success advice for aspiring engineers? How would an engineer become successful? Do you have any advice for him?
Advice, as I told you, I think the key word is to love what they do. What they do, they have to get informed every day. What's happening to find the good ideas and implement in their solutions in their jobs, in their companies. They have, as I told you, to educate their people, their team, uh, their employees, whatever. To follow all this, as I told you, the improvements of the science. I found this, very important.
Nice, nice. Okay, guys, people watching, listen, I'm going to leave the CNC Training Center underneath. If you guys want to get in touch, if you guys want to get trained, no matter where in the world you are, Mr. Panos can arrange it for you. Also, I'm going to leave links to relevant things. Just check it out. Panos, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul.
And yeah, thanks, man. Is there anything else you would like to add for anybody watching?
No, no, thank you all. Be in touch. Good luck to Poland, to new
Thank you.
opportunities there. All the best.
Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you guys in the next video. And until next time, keep succeeding. Thank you, Panos. Goodbye.
Bye bye.